Peace, old family. It's hilarious, yo. Okay, what up? Let me turn my volume up. Alright, so I can't be on here. I can only do one of these lives. So, my hair is kind of crazy. So, what we gonna do, since we got a false prophet in here who actually thinks he's nicer than me with the Torah. Like, this nigga's a straight up Christian. Stealing lessons from Chuck Missler. So I'm going to show you where he gets the breakdown from, right? I'm not even going to tell you what his name is because I don't want to promote him because he's a false prophet. But Chuck Missler, Christ patriarchs. Let's see if we can find it. Because this is something I introduced to the community before this nigga even was, before he probably even knew he was an Israelite. This is shit that I gave to the community because I learned it from Chuck Missler, like fucking 2011, 2012, you talking. You understand? So this is why I was able to point this shit out. This is why I know this nigga don't really study like that. He's sitting... Alright. This nigga's a hella false prophet. Alright, bet. So, what was I saying before? I got a phone call, so that's why this shit fucked up. So, this nigga is a goddamn YouTube prophet. Anytime any of these Christians out there, they're not studying their own text. They're YouTube prophets. They're going and regurgitating YouTube, right? And then they come on here and then they make memes. And then they carry an arrogant Christian attitude where they think they can actually fuck with us actual Torah-only Israelites. Like, that's one topic we're going to get into. 2, Stop scoping whose pictures I'm liking. If I like a picture with a chick who has her breast out, I'm a goddamn man. I'm attracted to women. I'll like whatever the fuck I want to like. Okay? Just because you don't physically like pictures on Instagram doesn't mean you're not lusting after a man. So cut it out. Because half of you bitches that dress up and pretend like you're these Proverbs 31 women, you're the worst type of women there are. You're the most insecure type of women there are. So cut that shit out, man. Think you're better than anybody else because you're in the truth. Sit your Pharisee ass down, man. And for the person that I'm talking to, you know exactly who I'm talking to. Don't you ever tag me again about whose picture I liked and you're encouraging any... Bitch, I'm not encouraging shit. She put the picture up there. She was going to put the picture up there. Bottom line. The fuck out of here, man. Act like your shit don't stink. Y'all better cut that shit out. Overly righteous motherfuckers. Can't stand overly righteous motherfuckers. You need to go read Ecclesiastes. That's what you need to do. Stop scoping other people's pages. You need to start teaching more and taking it serious and making an impact in your community instead of scoping what people are liking on Instagram like that's something important. Fuck is wrong with y'all niggas? But anyway, so back to this false prophet nigga. We just gonna get into something called the Piso family. Because this is a guy that swore to God, he really thinks he is level and on par with me in understanding in scripture. And he's so not. He don't even study enough. He just a YouTube scholar, right? So this is the white boy for whom the last post that I did, this is the white boy for whom he got that breakdown from. Do you understand? So let me see if I can find it, the patriarchs. Christ in, let me see, Chuck Missler, Christ in Old Testament. That's what you got to do. Go to Chuck Missler, because I used to pay attention to this cat, right? And I want you to go to Chuck Missler and listen to this dude's breakdowns, and then go listen to homeboy who over there pretending like he studied Torah do. You understand what I'm saying? So look remember this name. This is Chuck Missler, right? Matter of fact, let's see if we could play some of Chuck. We're gonna expose this nigga. This nigga really think he's matching me in study of Torah, and he's not.
Is mentioned 12
Listen.
In one book of the Bible. It was given on 7 different occasions by 7 different people, and is hardly ever given today. What Bible study was mentioned 12 times in one book by 7 different people that's rarely given today? That's the question, James. I see a lot of puzzled looks on your face. The answer is presenting Jesus as the Messiah of Israel entirely.
Y'all can hear it, right?
Testament. How many of you could sit down with a Jewish friend and present Jesus to your Jewish friend entirely from the Old Testament? I don't see many hands up. I see maybe 1 or 2. It was presented by Peter, Stephen, Philip, Paul, Apollos, Aquila, and Priscilla in the book of Acts.
Y'all can hear everything? Let me know.
12 occasions, and Peter's first sermon, Peter's second sermon, Stephen before the Sanhedrin.
I just want to get straight to the point. Hold up.
Paul to resurrect, even when they're defending themselves. No,
that's not the video.
Of course, it all starts in a sense, the seed of the woman commitment, in Genesis 3:15, where God.
Chuck Missler. It's one of these posts. I forget where he, which one it is, but Yeshua's name and crucifixion encoded. Oh, okay, here we go.
And a guy by the name of Yaakov Ramsel, Messianic Jew in San Antonio, Texas, says, "Hey guys, you're looking for names? How about the name Yeshua? You suppose it's there somewhere?" And of course, it turns out that the name Yeshua is encrypted behind almost every messianic prophecy in the Bible.
See, this is the hijack bullshit.
Takes a 3-way swing. There's the pro-codes, the anti-codes, but the Jews who are pro-codes are not too excited about the idea of Yeshua being in there. And Ramsel is a neat guy, good friend. He's the guy that sends me a lot of stuff.
So the white boy that's speaking right now, his name is Chuck Missler. This is who my last post where he's talking about the 10 first patriarchs. I'm gonna go home and show you my notebook where I had wrote that shit out 5-6 years ago. So this guy he's delivering old false information. It's how I know he don't study Torah like that.
And Grant Jeffries and he became good friends, and Grant Jeffrey published a book called The Signature of God, in which he takes up the support and the defense of the Bible codes. He also helps Yaakov Ramsel publish a book called Yeshua, and a sequel volume called Jesus Is My Name. I'll come back to that. And Grant Jeffrey wrote not only The Signature of God, he's written a recent book called The Handwriting of God, and both of us hope to have our books. He's doing another book proving the codes are real. And hope to have our book. Both of us are planning to...
Yeah, Obad Yahoo, I hope your ass paying attention.
Kind of interesting, Grant tells
you out here cheerleading for false prophets.
How, when this all started, Yeshua codes, he'd get a call from Israel, all set. Well, Yeshua just means salvation. And Grant would say, no, wait a minute, Yeshua.
I see.
What? Well, let's take a look at by the codes with...
Is this it? No, this is not it either. God damn.
Both high priests, Caiaphas and Annas.
But look, this is where these dudes get their breakdowns from. So even if we're not finding the exact video that I want, right? I want y'all to look at these Isaiah 53 breakdowns, listen to how Chuck Missler, this Christian, breaks shit down, and then go listen to the Christian Israelites and how they break down scripture. Why are they and their oppressor have the same doctrine? Why you and your oppressor got the same doctrine? Like, I'm sorry, son. Y'all niggas is clowns, man, at best. Clowns at best. I really want to find it. I've got to Google it, though. Let me Google it, because it's pertinent. And then we're going to watch some Piso Family, because this is the thing. They want you to prove that Christ, that's not Christ. Prove Isaiah 5:2 is not Christ. Bitch, go to 1 Samuel 17:12. That's talking about David. When it's talking about David, David was forgiven for his sins. This is why Ezekiel 18 is pivotal. Right? I can't get too fucking hype. But fucking, there's two ways to die. There's death of this body, the physical vessel, right? And then there's the extinguishing of the soul. David's soul never got extinguished because he never died in his sins. He was forgiven. Hence Ezekiel 18. Hence why King David will be resurrected and will be ruling over us in the future, as prophecy shows us multiple times in the book. These niggas don't study, so y'all be careful following these false prophets. Matter of fact, we're gonna see if we can find it. Chuck Missler. And this is the thing. The man did a breakdown. He did a breakdown like he understood it and broke it down. Let me see if they call me. Oh, no, they snoring their ass off. Oh, my fault. So didn't notice, if you go to this cat's page, right, he doesn't cite for you who he got the information from. So for all intents and purposes, you would think that he broke that down and came up with that. And that's just not true. I know about all that all this Christ shit they doing, I've been knew about 5-6 years ago. There were niggas who were in this truth before me who knew about that shit more than 5-6 years ago. So the fuck out of here. I hope this nigga's in here watching. And his cheerleader, Abad Yahoo, I hope you're watching too, and I hope you're taking notes. Because you need to. Y'all don't study like that. Y'all are not surgical with the Torah. You guys are clowns. Especially if you're pushing that Christ crap. You're a clown. You gotta be out of your fucking mind. Think you could actually fuck with me. Out of your fucking mind. You see the way I study? Are you out of your mind? Niggas is super disrespectful. Okay. Oh God. Here we go. So you can go to Chuck Chuck Missler's website and find this breakdown, nigga. So this is what you're gonna type in. Chuck Missler, Christ in Patriarch's Name. Alright, look. Chuck Missler broke this down in 1996. This is what Chuck Missler broke down, right? 1996. Okay, so these are who these Christians are stealing their false prophecies from, right?
There's another place.
Let's listen.
Laid out his plan in advance, and that's in some subtleties, and one of which I'd like to share with you in Genesis chapter 5, a genealogy. The genealogy in Genesis chapter 5 goes from Adam, the first man, down through Noah. And in Genesis chapter 5, if you wade through that, I encourage you to make a list of the names. Adam gave birth to Seth. Seth, Enosh. Enosh, Kenan. Kenan, Mahalalel. Mahalalel, Jared. Jared, Enoch. Enoch, Methuselah.
Keep in mind to you, this is what Christians believe. So what's the difference between Yahushua and Jesus Christ if they're both utilizing the same breakdowns?
Lamech, and Lamech was the father of Noah.
False prophet ass nigga.
These names. 10 names. But see, the problem is we need to know what the names mean. And if you have a study Bible or a source, a lexicon, what have you, you know that the name Adam means man. As you go through your Bible, when these names...
You study the Torah Tanakh first, from Genesis to Malachi. And that's the only thing you study. Believe what the book says. Everything you think you know, take that shit out of your brain and put it in the garbage. Even if it's correct, everything you think you know, throw it in the trash. It's garbage. You study the Torah Tanakh from the beginning. I gave you guys study methods. Okay? So you guys can't sit here and say you don't know to do this or that. You guys got study methods. Okay? Your scriptures, if he can't show you like this false prophet that I'm tearing up, about to tear up right now, Like, if he can't show you that his scriptures look like this, the nigga ain't studying like that. If he's not showing you how his Bible look, he's not studying like that. I've got multiple, this little nigga don't study more than me. I've got multiple different versions. It's almost ridiculous. Okay, look, I got two the same book, right? You see, when I finish doing all of this to one book, I go and I start another one. Why do I do this? If you look at the video where it says the kings of Israel had to study the Torah and know the Torah like the back of their... All right, so when it says they need to know how to read, right? You see me, I start from scratch again. Start from scratch. You know what I'm saying? Let me go get this food real quick. What's going on with you, man? All right, yep. All right, my guy. That's right, nigga. I don't give Gentiles tips. I'm dead serious. I don't give them no tip. Close this gate. All right. I'm serious. If they're a Gentile, I don't give them no tip. Fuck them niggas. But they make a living off of tips. Yeah, they also make a living off of using black people's civil rights and not having any respect for us. So, I don't respect tips. Here's a tip. Treat black people with respect. Feels good to have knowledge itself. Okay, let's get back to it. No, I ain't gonna be disrespectful and say it. He didn't give me a reason to disrespect him, so there's no reason I should disrespect him out all. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's get back to this Chuck Missler. Oh, shit.
Names are typically first introduced. Most of your marginal footnotes will tell you what the name means. Adam means man.
All right, now, if we say man, how does that... We're going to break this down and show you that even if they wanted to apply this to Christ, this could be applied to the children of Israel as well. Because the children of Israel are named as one group, are the son of the Most High. So if you're using a singular noun to refer to a whole nation of people, what stops it from being used here? If we look up Adamah in Hebrew, it means man, it means a group of people, mankind, if you will. Okay, or not mankind, a group of people. Like, these niggas is babies in this thing.
Appointed. Enosh means mortal. Kenan means sorrow.
That's Isaiah 53 right there. Okay, the children of Israel had to go through this in order to break through.
Mahalel means the blessed God. Jared means shall come down. Enoch means teaching. Methuselah means his death shall bring. Lamech means the despairing. And the word Noah means rest or comfort. Now, let's read that genealogy as a sentence. Man is appointed mortal sorrow. The blessed God shall come down, teaching that his death shall bring the despairing comfort.
Right. And you see, this is what they use and say that that's Christ. How generic is that? How generic.
Isn't that wild?
Ain't that wild? So nigga, I'm telling you, these niggas is Google prophets, okay? They're fucking YouTube prophets, all right? So now let's take their whole shit from underneath them. Matter of fact, let me like this video so that I can save it. So anytime these Christians try to pull a fast one, we know we're going to use some Chuck Missler to put them in their goddamn place. It feels good to know. All right. Where is it at? Well, okay, we're going to watch this joint.
Who was Jesus? Is he a historical character? Who wrote the Gospels? Why are they written in Greek? Why do they have a pro-Roman perspective Why was the religion headquartered in Rome? Those were the mysteries that I saw about the Gospels.
The origin of the Christian religion has been a subject steeped in mystery for nearly 2,000 years.
Nigga, when I tell you this entire motherfucking New Testament is garbage, nigga. It's all hijacked. Like we introduced this information like 3 years ago. That's the funny thing. All this information we started presenting 3 years ago. Crazy. And this young dummy over here, false prophet that I'm talking about, actually thinks he studies more than me. Like, you must be out of your motherfucking mind, G. Out of your fucking mind. You're not even close to me. You can't even hold a candle to me.
Number of scholars
Disrespectful.
all around the world who are questioning the historic facts behind these ancient mysteries. When examining the actual history of this era, many of the answers provided by the church and Christian scholars do not hold up to rigorous scrutiny.
This is really important for our culture, to understand where Christianity came from.
No doubt Christians have done a lot of good for the world, but then there are other Christians, often the most dogmatic, who create wars, hatred, and other harm under the disguise of religion. In studying how Christianity emerged, many of our scholars agree that it was used as a political tool to control the masses of the day.
All right, so let me just give you some context real quick. The reason why they had to come up with the New Testament, this is around the time of the Maccabees, right? So they had to come up with some type of doctrine in order to get the people off of the Torah, because the Torah is what uplifts. The Torah is what causes them to rebel and fight for freedom, have the courage to do so, the God-given right to do so, right? So they realized they couldn't beat us, and they couldn't beat us because even though we're still in captivity, we still have a semblance of national pride, an understanding of self, an identity, a relationship with our Creator, right? We still have some type of relationship. They had to completely extinguish that. Why? They infiltrate. All right, you got the Herodians, the Flavians, and I forget which one was the other power family at the time. I'm forgetting. But the Herodians were in charge of overseeing the Israelites and kept their cultural doctrines. Let me not use religious, because we're not a religion. They kept their cultural doctrines and histories and all that stuff. So they knew all that very well. Then it was the Flavian Caesars, who were the political power of the time. And I forget, their name starts with an R. But I believe so. But they were a family who were the financial power of the time. So you had them three groupings, the Herodians, this other financial big power, and the political Flavians come together, and they conjured this book, right? So how do you get a new religion to spread that fast? You need the political prowess to do so. That's where the Flavians came in. How do you get multiple copies of this new religion and the pamphlets and all of this information printed enough to get to the masses? You had the financial arm. How do you tie in the Hebrew Israelites' base of their culture and then still mix in the paganism to get all the other peoples to go along with this religion as well? That's what the Herodians were for. This is why you have prophecies in the Old Testament which are about the children of Israel, for example, like Isaiah 53, and these dumbasses will tell you it's about Christ. That's because these guys are using replacement theology. If you understand what replacement theology is, which this documentary will explain, you'll be able to see the hijack. These niggas don't study Torah. They're clowns, false prophets, YouTube and Google scholars, right?
And it is still being used this way today.
The problem is that Christianity has been used as a tool by government that uses the goodness in people against them. For example, support for the wars in the Middle East has been preached to evangelical Christians as a way to speed up the end of days. This is just one example of the way that propaganda is used to control and manipulate the populace. Actually, according to my study of the ancient texts, the second coming of the Christ has already occurred.
Maybe we need to expand the possible answers about how Christianity...
Y'all listening? They doctrines don't even make sense. Keep going.
And deeper questions need to be asked. Maybe we need to examine what political motives were behind the formation of the Christian religion.
I think it's a requirement of alert citizens to know how the Gospels were written, why they were written, who produced them, what was the purpose and back of all this. This is good citizenry. Everyone should be involved in this.
Today, we live on the brink of an immense paradigm shift, and this modern time is very parallel to the era in which Christianity emerged. Studying this ancient era can give us the perspective needed for coming up with solutions to today's problems and for helping create the better world that we envision.
Nigga, the book is even better than this documentary because it has literally every fucking thing. You know what I mean? So I want to hurry up and finish this couple sections of this project before I start entertaining, like, not debates, but we'll do dialogues. And then if anybody want to get up in the crowd or whatever and think they could tango, we could tango. I'll embarrass you in front of everybody. No problem.
This was a sun god turned into a Jewish man.
Okay, you see, this was a sun god, right? Baal, the black sun. Remember what sun it's talking about. It's talking about the black sun Saturn, right? It's not talking about what we traditionally think, okay? Why do you think the black sun cult is what the Pope belongs to? All right? Hang on. Okay, you see this symbol. You see this